I recently went to Osaka for the third time and realized that wow, it's been like 7 months since I uploaded my Osaka first timers travel guide where I covered what you need to know before going, what to pack, and I even broke down a 4-day itinerary of some of the best things to do while you're in town. However, I noticed a few changes to the things that I said in that initial video when I was there this trip. I also stayed somewhere new and checked out a whole long list of new places to eat at, which includes some amazing ramen spots and possibly one of the best secret bars I have ever been to. And also embarked on a few amazing day trips outside of Osaka. And they are all activities that in my opinion are worthy of being added to your upcoming Osaka travel itinerary. And so I thought, you know what, it is high time for an Osaka travel update video. This video is meant to complement the previous Osaka travel guide video that I did, so I would highly recommend watching that one first. I'm going to try to link it here or here and also in my description box. I'm then going to link this video at the end of that video so you can then come and catch up on part 2 after that. I hope this is all making sense. And with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into it, shall we? So one of the first things I noticed this trip was the QR code that you can get by registering and completing the requirements at the Visit Japan web link here. It's now a necessity. I mean, the airline that I was on didn't even hand out any traditional arrival cards. And when I landed, I noticed that there was signage everywhere indicating links to the Visit Japan web. Thankfully, I had done mine prior to arriving. I had basically screenshotted the QR code onto my phone. I was ushered into an area full of white machines that look a little bit like this. And all I had to do was to scan my QR code and then passport, and I was in. It is probably the quickest I've ever cleared immigration in Japan. And so yes, if you're planning a trip to Japan soon, I strongly recommend completing the Visit Japan web requirements and getting that QR code prior to your arrival. I also realized that I didn't really talk about how to get from the Osaka airport into your accommodation, as I previously took a Shinkansen from Tokyo to Osaka. And so here's some information that you're gonna find helpful if you're flying into Osaka. There are 2 airports in Osaka, but the one that most of us will land in is the Kansai International Airport, which is located about 50 kilometers away from the city. There are 2 main ways to get into the city, and that would be either via bus or train. The limousine bus will take you from Kansai Airport into Osaka Umeda Station. The whole ride takes about 40 minutes depending on traffic. The other option you have would be via trains, aka via the Nankai Limited Express Rapid, which will take you from Kansai Airport to Namba Station, which is where Dotonbori is located. So it is where most of us will be staying at. This option will also take you around 40 minutes. And I guess now would be a good point in the video to talk about the Kansai Pass, which I also left out in my initial video, that can save you up to 43% off your travels in Osaka. As the pass includes not only your return bus or train ticket from Osaka to Kansai Airport, but also entry tickets to some of the most popular attractions in Osaka, including, as you can see here, the Teamlight Botanical Gardens, Haruka's 300, the Umeda Sky Building, and many, many more. AKA places that you most probably will be paying separately to go in and see anyway. Save up to 43% off the entry tickets and even get an extra 10% off if you use my Klook discount code, which I'm going to place here and also in the description box. You are welcome. I also stayed at a new hotel this visit. You may recall me talking about the Dotonbori Hotel, which I stayed at twice in my previous visits to Osaka. And whilst that is still a fantastic choice hotel-wise, may I give you another option. I stayed at the Toyoko in Osaka Namba this visit, and I actually found it better. Whilst the pricing is fairly similar, I found the rooms to be newer, bigger, and by far my favorite feature is that the place also has a 24/7 coin operated laundry. It may be controversial, but I'm actually someone who enjoys doing my laundry throughout my trip so that I can not only pack light, but will also have extra luggage space if I happen to do shopping. Their Namba location, by the way, is also located right outside Namba station, meaning that if you are catching the train, you don't even have to lug your luggage that far to get to the hotel. I also ate at quite a few new places this visit, and in this next section, I'm going to walk you through all of them. By the way, I'm Steve from the Fat Life Project. I'm an early retiree who now spends a lot of my time traveling, and this channel is full of travel guides such as the one that you're watching right now that is going to help you travel to cities around the world like a seasoned pro. And so if this is your vibe, I definitely recommend subscribing so that we can go on more fat adventures together. And there's no better way, in my opinion, to start your day in Japan than with a Japanese breakfast. I actually like this place so much that I went back twice. And you're never gonna forget the name because it's a bit of a tongue twister. Let me see if I can get this right. Warewarewa is a Japanese breakfast spot that's located minutes walk away from Homachi Station, and it's a favorite with both locals and travelers. The dish that I got twice when I was here was their signature morning onigiri rice ball set that cost me about 1,200 yen. It features 3 perfectly crafted onigiris paired with tamago and grilled salmon. The set is rounded out with seasonal sides that included some simmered beef shirugurini and some crispy fried vegetables. I'm also notably not a huge matcha fan, but this iced matcha that I ordered here was freaking delicious. Strongly recommend checking out Warewarewa. The Timeout Market in Osaka also recently opened. I believe it was in March 2025 and was high up on my list of places to check out during this trip. The indoor food court is located at the south building of the Grand Green Osaka, right beneath the JR Osaka station, and features a curated selection of stalls from 17 award-winning Kansai chefs. Expectedly, the food offerings here are broad, from traditional Osaka street foods like takoyaki, okonomiyaki, sushi, and ramen, to modern Mexican tacos, and there was even a stall that served up Korean samgyetang. It took me forever to decide what to get, but I'm pretty happy with what I ended up choosing. I started with 10 pieces of sushi for just 1,500 yen from Kitaro Sushi. I've also heard plenty of good things about Zagin Diversity that specializes in paitan ramens, and without being too long-winded about it, this bowl of gyokotsu aka beef paitan ramen was one of the best things I had this Osaka trip. It ticked off all the boxes: a very beef-forward flavor and creamy textured broth, al dente noodles, and the wagyu steak pieces that were served on the top are also incredibly juicy. I really wanted to try out more things, but I was so full by this stage, and so I rounded things off with a slice of cherry pie from Seichiro Nishizuno. I am so impressed with the foods that I tried out at Timeout Market, and so one thing's for sure, I am definitely revisiting this spot in my next trip. And if you do travel with me, the one thing that you're gonna find out that I highly dislike is queuing for my food, especially in Japan where there's good food everywhere. It is one of the reasons, by the way, why I controversially to this day has still not tried Ichiran ramen in Japan. And so one of my favorite things to do in Japan is to randomly walk into restaurants to try things out. I have to say that this approach has so far worked out beautifully for me in Japan. I tried out a few ramen joints around the Dodonbori area this trip, and some of my highlights include the Kyushu Ramen Kyo, which is known for their pork tonkotsu ramens, the Abura Soba Kirinji Sennichimae, which is famous for their Abura Soba, also known as brothless ramens. This was so yummy. And last but definitely not least is Tabutchan, and they are known for their spicy dandan ramens. I mean, if you only had time to check out one out of these 3 spots, this would be the one I would recommend. However, subscribers to my channel will know that any trip of mine is not complete until I've checked out a secret bar or 10. And this visit, I think I went to the best one yet. Deepening Submarine Bar SHINKA is truly one of a kind, as it's not only tucked away down this quiet, narrow alley, but as the name suggests, it is literally tucked away inside a submarine. The hole-in-the-wall intimate steampunk-inspired bar immerses visitors in a stunning recreation of a submarine's interior, complete with rust-hued steel pipes, walls, control panels, gauges, and flashing lights. Many which, by the way, come from genuine 1930s submarine parts, according to the owner, who, by the way, doesn't speak English, so I had to communicate with him via Google Translate. Oh, and while you're here, don't forget to also check out the restroom, which continues on the submarine fantasy. I mean, come on, just look at this. I will also most probably talk about this in more detail in another video sometime in the future, but if you have a bit of time during your trip in Osaka and want a little bit of a change from the Osaka city, there are actually several day trips that I would recommend. Starting with the most obvious, you cannot say Osaka without saying Kyoto in the same breath. I spent 2 days here, one solely for food and the other one on a guided tour covering all the well-known locations such as the endless torii gates at the Fushimi Inari Shrine and the Arashiyama Bamboo Forest. And I can almost bet that right after Kyoto, the next location that you're gonna mention is Nara, which is of course most known for their friendly free-roaming deer park where the deers bow for biscuits, but it is so much more than that. Explore ancient temples, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and much more here. Another day trip that is, in my opinion, unmissable is Kobe, which is a port city located between the Roko Mountains and Osaka Bay. It'll take you about 30 to 40 minutes to get to from Osaka and is famous worldwide, of course, for its melt-in-your-mouth Kobe beef, but it's also known for beautiful historical architecture, well-preserved Western-style houses, and her rather unique Chinatown. If you're looking for a day tour, I did this one via Get Your Guide and I honestly rate it. I do hope that you found value in today's video, and if you have, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. All the good things that you know are gonna appease those holy YouTube algorithm gods, but much more importantly, will just make my day as a content creator. Specifically, if you do have a question or feedback for me, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section, as I do love hearing from the people who take time to watch my videos. Again, this video is a part 2 and is meant to supplement my initial Osaka first timers travel guide video, so if you haven't watched that yet, I'm gonna link it here at the end of this video so that you can go ahead and watch that next. If you're traveling to Japan for the first time, you may also find my first timers travel guide to Japan to be helpful. I'm also gonna link that video at the end of this video. And if you got to this point of the video, 50 points to Gryffindor for you. But also thank you so much for your support. I know I say this every single week, but I do genuinely mean it. I do hope that you have a fantastic day ahead, or that you've already had a good day. And as always, I will see you real soon in the next video. Ciao!